let's do this. All right. No, we need OCaml landing. Actually, did we leave our secret in here? Well, that's not started. Back. Everything's building right now, yeah. Cool. Alright, must have left our secret in there. That's going to be important to take out before we go in there. Alright, logs in correctly. Got our logout link, the image of whoever logged in, the profile photo, and the username, GitHub username. This is all logged in via Git. Logout works. Good, good. Alright, so we take our secret out. Didn't need to close that, whatever. Alright. Nope. Pop back over here. Main page. I would like to style it so that the stuff isn't all in like a crazy row. Let's see, can we make not the SRC, not the alt. Let's give it some attributes like height. Oh, a height. Yeah. 24. Does it take a number? Nice. Alright, so and then we'll do a width. We'll do that 24 as well. That did work. Good. Alright, so we got height and width. Actually, let's... Should have left myself logged in. Well, let's just swap these. Start this up again, we should get the other page. Oops. Oh. What did I do here? Oh, login page now goes to login page. All right. We won't do that. What? Dune buoy? Does that actually build it? That can't be right. Alright, it doesn't matter right now. Let's get back to this. Alright, I want to get this cleaned up and done so we can move on to the next phase of our master plan, which is creating some kind of a SaaS framework. Maybe that's, yeah, I guess SaaS framework. Some kind of web framework. We'll probably use Dream, just because that's what I'm familiar with. I know there was action in the field of libraries a while back, but I didn't really understand it. It never made it to full production. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe a day will come when that library makes its way back around. But until then, I don't even remember what it's called now. I think it had to do with like trails, tea leaves, or something. But yeah, we'll just do something basic. But we need to get this. I need to move all this into a div so that it's all up on, like up and down. I think I want to do a div up here. And then I think I want to grab this, all of this, stick this in here, move our log out down here. I think I kind of want another div here. I think what I'm going to do is basically have here, going to move this down a little. And I want to have the user's picture here, and then username, and then in parentheses the log out, something like that. I don't know, it doesn't have to be super like complicated. We just need it to confirm that the user has logged in. I don't know, this feels like kind of chunky, but you know, it's whatever. The point of this is to just to demo that you were able to log in, so I think it'll be fine. Excuse me. So we'll do something like this. I'll have this here. We'll try to make this small enough to make sense. And then, yeah, that should work. We'll aim for that. So we've got div. Do another div here. And then we'll grab these two. I'll stick these in there. So we've got our div, which holds everything. So this will be, we'll give this guy a style tag. It's gonna just be a bunch of display flex, flex direction, column, justify, content, center, no, align items, center. So it should make it like this, and it should center everything on the cross axis. Align items is the cross axis. Justify content aligns items on the main axis. So that'll give us, that'll make this centered and should center this. Then we can do this one and this div. We're basically just encapsulating so it'll be a row, and it's basically going to be a row by default as a div because that's just the way that they are. Now it'll give us the username and log out. I don't know if there'll be any space between these guys. I think we could also just include the opening parenthesis in here. Like that. And then we can just do another span over here. That'll have the closing parenthesis. Oh, it doesn't need any of this. Or that. Nope. Alright, so that should give us the format we want. Whether or not 24 and 24 is the right height is yet to be seen. We'll see that. We'll figure that out in a minute though. Kind of want to give this image a border radius though. A style. Border radius 8 pixels. We'll see what that looks like. That might be really round given that it's 24 pixels. I think it's 24 pixels. Dune well. Oh wait, I've gotta. Alright, let's just swap them again. It's fine if everything freaks out. Unused. Fine. Do this. There we go. Oh, not logged in. Should have given it a background color. At least log out came out correctly. You can see there's a little bit of border radius there. Alright. Might be too small. Is that 24 by 24? That is 24 by 24. I think we make that a little bit bigger. Let's jump to... Whoops, too high. They're too low. Let's make this... Let's do 64. Whoops. It's been a while. Glad to see you've come back, spam bot. Let's see, can I moderate this particular action? Yeah, pin this message. Yeah, we'll just ban it. I'm sure if I don't ban it, then it'll just keep talking. Alright, let me refresh this page. Cool, cool. Now that feels about the right size. And we're gonna have username here, so this is all gonna spread out a little, but that feels like an okay size. Alright. Now let's well, first let's go back into main and return that. Oh, and then I need to put the secret back in. Grab that out of my notes to myself. Drop that in there. Close that. And then we'll do a Dune build. Dune exec. OCaml. Whoops. OCaml landing. Refresh. We're not logged in. Log in with GitHub. And there we go. Alright. That looks pretty decent. Maybe I could have had a space there. Forgot to add one of those. I think logout probably shouldn't be capitalized. It seems a little bit odd. We could take the underscore or the text decoration off of there. Oh, that's fine. I'll stay high. Let's see, that is this guy. We'll put a space there. We'll make this lowercase. And we'll take off the text decoration. So a style. Oh wait, I need a style. We'll say text decoration none. Gosh. I feel old now that I know all of the CSS attributes just by heart at this point. Can't decide if that's a good thing that I know all those or not. Okay. Again. There's our space. Now it's not underlined. Perfect. Everything looks great. I think this is a good demo. This is a good demo. But now we need someplace. We have to actually like deploy this somewhere. We need like a Vercel for OCaml. And I think that's what we're going to work on next. I think we're going to take a stab at it. Either that or we're going to try and like start a campaign to convince Vercel to have a deployment for OCaml apps, which maybe isn't entirely crazy. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure something out. But I want to build some kind of a framework that, not a framework. Essentially, when you use Dune, you do opam install Dune, and that gives you a command, Dune, that you can use to do things like Dune init proj, which gets you a new project. I want to basically build a new package that's just like Dune. So I can do Dune init proj, and it will do a bunch of stuff underneath the covers, right? So I want it to run its own Dune init project. It feels weird to like abbreviate that, even if I am just pronouncing it the way that the command is. I want it to run its own Dune init to create a project. I want it to go into that project, and I want it to create specific directories and specific files so that you already have a working web app with one command. And I want that web app to be able to be deployed to the wild quickly. So it's kind of a two-step process, right? The goal is Next.js draw. All right, so we'll come over here. Our new thing. We want someone to be able to, actually, that's just, I don't need not creating a screen. Sort of things we want, right? We want to be able to run, I don't know what we're going to call this thing, command name init, and that will give us, it'll run, let's see, it'll run Dune init project. Oh, we should have project name, and it should run project name. It should cd into new directory. It should create, I don't know, I guess a directory structure that we define. It should create a basic landing page web app that's working. Like, it should be working. Like, they should run this and it should be good to go immediately. And you should be able to just start it. Maybe just run Dune exec. Maybe we have our own command that runs Dune exec under the hood. That might be kind of nice to put a wrapper around that, just for the sake of like having control over what stuff does what. So we want it to run Dune init. We want it to go into the directory. We want it to make structure. So it's going to have like, I really like the way Laravel is set up. So it may have a structure similar to Laravel. I don't think it'll be exactly the same as Laravel's, because Laravel is a pretty mature ecosystem. And if I've learned anything in my, wow, I've been in software a long time. If I've learned anything in my time in software, it's that the older something gets, the more less than desirable patterns there are. So we want to try to harvest, if you will, collect some of the good patterns that we see from things like Laravel and Vercel, and then try to weed out some of the choices that they made that maybe they wouldn't make again. I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to create a basic landing page. I think there's a couple of optional things I'd like to do. I'd love to stand up a SQLite. SQLite instance. I think that'd be super cool to just have a database right away. Laravel does that as well. I really like that. I think having a database immediately when you start building a project is like a huge win, huge time saver. It's super painful, or at least when I was first getting started doing web development, it was super painful to have to figure out how to get a database stood up. I had a account through what was then called 1&1. I think they're called Ionos now. And they essentially give you unlimited MySQL databases. And so I would just spin up a new database, and then I'd have to get all the credentials, and I'd have to store them all. And back then I was, just a youngster and didn't have a good way to store credentials. And so it was all like HTTP, like it was all just, I have FTP in, and I would just hard set the credentials in the files. They weren't even stored in Git repositories because I didn't know really much about Git back then. It was the wild west of web development. So we're gonna go back to that a little bit, but I don't want to go that far back. I want to have the database already stood up, so that's an optional. It would be good if we had that. I think I also want to have Savvy already configured. Right, I just want Savvy to be included in it already. Partly because I want people to use Savvy, but also partly because auth sucks. And if I can give people the ability to do like social auths really quickly and easily, then I think that's ideal for us. Again, the part that people get excited about when they're building a web app is not, I'm going to spend a week handcrafting my auth flow. Like maybe there's some people that are really into that, but that's not the target audience. So I want to already have Savvy configured. Maybe that's not as optional as I'm making it out to be, but yeah. And then I think we can also have, like we mentioned before, run command name. Let's see, I guess in Next.js, this would be run dev or npm run dev, pnpm run dev, yarn run dev, whatever you're using. So this would be dev. I don't think we really have the same situation in OCaml, because with npm run dev versus npm build and then running the build from the build directory, it's just like obfuscation and stuff, and OCaml we're really not going to get that anyway. So I think for us it's just going to be run OCaml, or I don't know, what are we calling it, Mosaic. I don't know, maybe Mosaic. I feel like Mosaic is cool, but it's also an old browser name. Could be dicey. Yeah, we'll do run. No. Yeah, we'll do run. So we'll do Mosaic run. If we're using Mosaic, we'll just use Mosaic as our example. We'll do Mosaic run, and that will run Dune exec project name, because we're going to also have to have built in our binary, right? Well, in our bin directory, we'll have our Dune file, and we'll have our executables defined in there. So we'll have to be careful that those don't get changed or whatever. Because the command name is going to have to look in that Dune file probably, and it's probably going to have to determine which file or which name it's going to do Dune exec on. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. For now, we'll probably just use Dune exec, but I think long term it'd be better to have this run. So Dune exec is gonna have to run the project, Something we're gonna have to think about is JavaScript, CSS. Any kind of web app is gonna need JavaScript and CSS. Like I know we always pick on JavaScript, especially in like the Laravel community. There's a lot of well, not in the Laravel community specifically, outside of the Laravel community, there's a lot of like gaslighting around. Oh, we're just gonna get rid of JavaScript. We're gonna replace JavaScript. Ha ha ha. But in actuality, right? Web browsers know JavaScript. That is the default language of a web browser, and it has been that way since the mid-90s. That's not something that's probably going to change anytime in the near future, and that's probably okay. I don't love JavaScript, but I don't love assembly either, but we still use that under the covers as well. So I think for now, we'll just need to do like some ESLint or something, or not ESLint, yeah, ESBuild. I'm trying to remember if there's a better one. I think Bun does this as well. I need to build JavaScript somehow. There's a JS of OCaml library maybe we could use. We could maybe use Melange. So it would be kind of cool if we could do the JavaScript through OCaml and not have to write actual JavaScript, because that would kind of suck. And then some kind of styles. Well, maybe styles aren't super important because we can do them just like we did with our demo app, where we just put the styles straight up into the files. That could be fine. I don't know if we need that. So we've got our init and our run. That's sort of our goal state. We want to be able to create all this. And that seems like, I don't know what we're going to call this, but extra large. OCaml web app creator thing. Yeah. Oh man, my son would love it if we called it OCaml. I created my own version of WordPress. Very, very basic. Never finished it. But I called it OCaml, and he loved OCaml as a name. He thought that was great. And I would work on it whenever I put the kids to bed. I sit in the hallway and just kind of work on stuff on the computer outside their doors so they can kind of see that I'm still there. It has sort of a double benefit, right? Like, makes them feel comfy. They don't have to get out of bed and come check on me or check on mom or see where people are. It also means I have like a period of time where I can just sit down and work and not be distracted by like cell phones and TVs and stuff. So maybe OCaml. We might call it OCaml. Who knows? Alright, so now we have to figure out how we accomplish this. Like, I'm not even sure. I don't know how Dune does this. How does Dune get to be a... How does Dune install its executable? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, excuse me. Actually, this might be a really good use case for the AI. Hello. I need to understand more about the Dune library in the OCaml ecosystem. I want to create a very similar kind of program that when installed via OPAM, it will allow me to, maybe I can't do this. Maybe Dune has some sort of weird in with it. We'll keep going. That when installed via OPAM, it will allow me to run my command. Let's call it, we'll call it Mosaic for now. No, let's call it OCaml. And it will be able to create files and directories like Dune does. In fact, I want to call Dune as one of the steps it takes when it's called. Alright. How can I structure an OCaml app so that I can have it act like Dune in this way? I don't actually know if I don't know how to phrase this. Come on, Gemini, you can do it. Alright, for developers, no OCaml. Let's call it OCaml. Your OCaml application will be an OCaml executable that is made available on the user's path after installation through OPAM. The project structure will mirror that of a standard OCaml project, managed by Dune itself. Okay, typical project. Yep, good. Love it. Okay. Sure. This is the OPAM package definition file, defines metadata dependencies. Oh. Crucially, it tells OPAM to make your OCaml executable available. Where does it tell it that? This pin directory. Okay, cool. Command liner, what's this? Robust and user-friendly command line interface. The command line library is a powerful choice. It allows you to declaratively define your arguments. Commands, arguments, flags, subcommands. Okay, love that. Never heard of command liner before, which seems weird, but okay. Define the command line arguments. Name of a new project. Project name. Define your command. A tool to create and build OCaml projects. OCaml. Implementing the core logic in the library. The core functionality of OCaml will reside in OCaml lib. So when creating directories and files, and then calling the Dune executable. I feel like I want to do this first, and then I want to do that, but okay. Make project name. This must be a memory address? That's so weird. Let's ch equal open out project name output string to ch. I'm guessing this is something handler, character handler. Let print inline hello from your new project, close out. So this opens a new file and adds stuff to it. Dune file, open project name. Project name slash it's open the Dune file. Put the executable stuff in there. Project created successfully. And then invoke Dune. Where does invoke Dune get called? Doesn't look like it's up here. Yeah, okay, whatever. So this is going to do Dune build. That wasn't the kind of build that I wanted it to do, but alright. Installation and usage. Once your project is structured as described, you can build and install it locally. Okay. Pin add -y. This command will compile your project and install the OCaml executable into your OPAM environment. You can then use it just like any other command. Wait, can I use any command in my OPAM repository? No. Okay. Create a directory. This will trigger your HuckBuild application, which will create a directory called the new project. Create my project main.ml and my new project Dune. Execute Dune build within the context of the newly created project. Okay, some of this makes sense, some of it doesn't. This part doesn't so much. I like this. I'd like this if this didn't try to make its own stuff. I'd really like it to use Dune to do that initially. Clar. That's OCaml ending. Let's go to development. Do I have HuckBuild in here? I do. This is all PHP stuff. Actually, I think it's PHP stuff. Let's move HuckBuild to be HuckBuild PHP. And then let's Dune project init HuckBuild. Yeah. Oh, I'm not in an OPAM switch right now. Let's see, I need to... Man, how did I do this with Savvy? Am I not in Savvy? Yeah. I need to do OPAM or env OPAM env, something like that. What? OPAM. Which OPAM? OPAM env does this, yeah. Let's see, I need to OPAM change switch. Man, I have to Google OPAM stuff. It's the worst. Just give me the command. Eval. Eval OPAM. OPAM env. Alright, Dune. Init project HuckBuild. Cool. Oh no, which switch am I on? Okay, good. I'm on the base one. What switch is this one on? Oh, it's the base one too. Alright, whatever. Cool. Alright, so it needs to, I guess this part, the HuckBuild stuff up here is whatever. Like we're just gonna build something that Dune Lang 3.7, geez. Let's go into HuckBuild. What does HuckBuild.opam look like? Nothing. Nothing in there. Your name, homepage, bug reports, depends. OCaml, Dune command line, or build, Dune build, -p, name, -j jobs. Crucially, it tells OPAM to make your HuckBuild executable available. I just don't see that actually happening here. Well, I guess we just give it a shot here. I don't think I actually care about that. I thought Dune normally populates this for me. Maybe not. Actually, is OPAM version? All right, let's. Where was I? OPAM? No. NVim savvy.opam right there. 2.0. Description depends. Build. Dune subs with dev. Name J install. Add install. Wow, I have no memory of writing most of this. That's not great. Alright. But either way, this does not seem... This seems like it kind of does the same as this. I don't know what this stuff is, but I guess that's probably just additional jobs. Oh, these are the jobs that you can run probably. Install, run, test, doc. Okay. So name's HuckaBuild. Maintainer's license. Synopsis. Name versions 010. Is there a version tag in here? There's not. I don't think that's real. Maintainer. I don't know if that's real either. We'll just grab these. We'll put these here. And we'll delete that one. Homepage. Yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. I guess it's gonna be Sam Huckabee, HuckaBuild. Actually, I don't know. HuckaBuild might already be taken in our in my repos. HuckaBuild. Really? Repositories. Yep, there's already a Sam Huckabee / HuckaBuild. Modern PHP content management system. That is a whole bunch of hooey. Alright. OCaml, Dune, command liner. What level of Dune do I ask for over here? Dune 3.16. 3.0. Let's at least make this match that. OCaml version shouldn't matter. We're gonna have to call this something else. Or maybe we could just change, actually, can I just change where this points to? Can I like log in and change the source? Probably not. Man, this took so much time to build. Downloads 8. Who has downloaded this? Okay. They're probably all me. I bet you it's just like the 8 times that I installed it to test it. Let's see. Well, we're not going to worry about that for right now. We're not going to worry about this for right now. We're not even going to commit this right now. We're going to get back to building this janky thing. All right. Let's see. We need our Dune project file to look like that, which that should already be in existence. Name, HuckaBuild. Some of these things are going to have to change. What do I have in here? Dune project. This is how Dune. Oh wait, Dune created all this, not me. Oh, this one they created, but Dune created this file. I don't remember if I have that email set up or not. Maybe. It'll be fine for now. License. Do I have a license file? I think this can just be MIT. Even better, just MIT. Ooh. Documentation. Yikes. Right now, nowhere. 0 documentation. Huckabuild. Yeah, we can fill all these things out another time. I don't care. Alright, so that's all in there. Then we need to go to bin Dune. Name main. Let's see, it's got Huckabuild. CMD liner. Command liner. Huckabuild. But I've called it main.ml, so I'll need to modify. Explore. What time is it? 8. Okay. This one I need to rename to huckabuild.ml. This one needs to have some other stuff in it. So this is our bin file. That's this. Grab that. I guess I could have clicked on this button. Just toss that stuff. Don't need it. We'll have to figure out a bunch of this problems. Unbound module command. Oh, that's not good. That already tells me that this might just be absolutely worthless code. But whatever. We're gonna gut it anyway. So we need to go to explore. We go up to our library. We need to create, what do we call it? Huckabuild lib. This is a terrible name. Copy that. Drop that in there. This just is like, okay. I don't know what this is doing. We're going to be cleaning a lot. We're going to be doing a lot of cleaning. This is vibe coded, just garbage. Create project. Alright, so this is all this stuff, right? So, makedir is from Unix. Actually, we probably need to add half this stuff to our Dune file. Like, why would it not have included that in here? The public name Huckabuild stands as what makes the Huckabuild command available after installation. Is it though? Because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got public name Savvy in here, and it doesn't look like. Doesn't look like I can just run Savvy on the command line. Not that there's anything built in Savvy that would be command line runnable, but whatever. Okay. I really want to learn more about this command line. It seems cool. So let's go back to, save this. Let's go back to main. No, it's not called main anymore. There's so many files with Huckabuild in the name. It's a terrible design choice. We're going to rename a bunch of this stuff. We need to go to bin/Dune. We need to have Huckabuild lib. I'm just gonna run Dune build so I can see all the errors. Just like everything. Dune build lib not found. Deprecated auto include. OCaml's lib directory layout changed in 5.0. The Unix subdirectory has been automatically added to the search path, but you should add -i plus Unix to the command line to silence this alert. Automatically add to the search path, so I just don't need to open it. By adding Unix to the list of libraries in your Dune file. Or adding use Unix to your tags file for OCaml build, or using -package Unix. Wait, what does that mean? Does that mean that I need to just go to bin? Wait, who's using Unix? Unix was being opened by the library. So OCaml this, and then come down to Dune. How do I tell it that this has libraries? Unix? Okay, that got rid of a bunch of errors. Actually, the fact that there's only one error coming up is like nuts, but it's got to be just because it hasn't actually built huckabuild lib. Library huckabuild lib not found. I think that's this, right? This should be huckabuild lib. Yeah, library name huckabuild lib. Cool. Huckabuild not found. What? Did I put that in there? Oh, I'm just an idiot. Okay. bin/Dune. Holy cow, that builds? Gemini got something right? Neat. Still doesn't quite work the way I want. We'll have to do that OPAM pen thing, which seems super weird. Maybe that's fine though. I can't believe all this just works. I still think this still does a bunch of stuff I don't actually want. I really want it to run Dune, which I think is what I want this to do. So where does it call this? Why doesn't it call this output string Dune file? Yeah, okay. Can I just tell it to run Dune? If I just put Dune here, makedir is obviously a function of the Unix module. Let's see, we've got I just don't know. Alright, I guess we could do this pin and just try it and just see if it works. How I remove a pin. Pin remove. OPAM pin remove, version pinning, okay. To unpin a package, simply run unpin, or run pin remove. Okay, OPAM pin, add this directory. Huckabuild does not exist. Create as a new package. Yes. Install OCaml dev. Do I continue? Yeah, let's do that. Failed. Alright, error while compiling. This file is generated by Dune. Error, repository does not contain any version information. Repository. Just getting mad about the Dune file? Pin command successful, but your installed packages may be out of sync. Okay. Pin remove here. Okay, no longer pinned. Alright. What does pinning do? We should probably figure that out. Version pinning. OCaml pin package path. This command will use the content of path to compile package. This means the next time you'll do OCaml install package, the compilation process will be using a mirror of your path instead of downloading the archive. This also means that any modification to that path will be picked up by OCaml update, and thus OCaml upgrade will recompile package and its 4 dependencies if needed. Okay. Handling repositories. OCaml suggests using multiple repositories at the same time and supports multiple repository backends as well. Okay, for repositories, OCaml makes global index. Alright. Yeah, so you can have multiple, OCaml can point to multiple places to get stuff. You made packages, you didn't want to use them. Yeah, there we go. In addition of the ones available in the default OCaml repository, in order to do that, you made packages and you want to use them in addition of the ones. Alright, I'm going to have to submit a ticket, or I'm going to have to submit a PR to fix this wording. You made packages and you want to use them in addition of the ones available in the default OCaml repository. In order to do that, put these packages in a private repository and then add this repository in order to be able to install these packages the same way you install public OCaml packages. For example, if your packages are stored in a Git repository, do OCaml init, use a default repository, OCaml remote add devel, the place for your Git. So this must be package name, and then package Git repository. OCaml will add the default OCaml repository when initializing, and you add your development repository afterwards under the name devel. The Git backend will be used because the URL starts with Git. By default, OCaml managed to figure out automatically which backend to use. See OCaml help remote for more information. Because really you want to hack the packages. What? Are we just giving stuff to hackers? Because, for example, you want to modify the packages, or you want to add some packages that are not available in the public repository yourself. In this case, you probably want to do git clone, OCaml repository, default my repo. Afterwards, you can modify packages into my repo and use them in OCaml after doing. Okay, so that's how you can clone the OCaml repository and use your own copy of OCaml repository instead of. Yeah, okay, we don't need to do any of that. We need to figure out why this doesn't work. This file OCaml.opam line 1 characters 10 to 25. Come on, this file is generated by Dune. Edit Dune project instead. Repository does not contain any version information. Okay, so this is in the OCaml file. So if we go to the OCaml file, we come back over here and we come to this OCaml file and look at the difference. What was it mad about? Is it mad that this doesn't have? Repository does not contain any version information. Let's see what that. OCaml. Create an OCaml switch. Don't want to do that. Oh, thanks for the follow, Nevo. If you're still out there. I really appreciate it. Problem with the OPAM. I mean, I did a pin though, so OPAM pin add this. Yeah, it's a new package that doesn't exist. It's gonna try to install OCaml to dev. I don't actually know what that is though. I'm not sure what that means. It means something though. Compilation of OCaml. Oh, so this is a dev version. Failed at Dune subset, substring, substreet. While compiling OCaml. Okay. Let's just. Let's grab this. Tried it and this happened. I need to go eat breakfast and get to a real job here in a minute. So we'll take the shortcut and just see if the AI knows what's going on here, or at least can give me a direction to start researching. I think we'll let that spin. So our plan is, and we're kind of in this part of the plan. The plan is that we want to run command name, OCaml, mosaic, whatever we end up calling it. Command name, init, project name. It's going to run Dune init proj, that project name. Then we'll cd into the new directory. We'll build out the structure that we want to define. So we'll do like a bunch of makers and file handlers so we can create things. And we want to create a basic landing page that's with a working web app. So it's going to already have the Dream framework installed. It's already going to have a router set up and configured. It's already going to have a really simple, basic first page. It's going to create a basic landing page, and then we're optionally going to see if we can get an SQLite, or an SQLite, however we pronounce it, Squelite, yep. We're going to optionally stand up a Squelite instance and then have Savvy already configured. I don't really know how Savvy being configured works in our use case though. I guess we just create like a route guard or something, just like we did for the demo one. All right, so yeah, of course, sir, person, robot. The build process is failing to tune the substring step. This command's job is to substitute placeholders on the files like the OPAM file with actual values. It's failing because it's trying to find a version in your project and can't. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to leave that there. We're not going to commit this stuff yet. But this is still the plan. The next time we stream, next time I stream, I think this is going to be our goal to accomplish. But I think for now, I need to stop here and get some real work done for the day. So hopefully it was fun. We will get back to building OCaml or whatever we're going to call this Monday. So yeah, see ya. Until then.